The history of military-backed government in South Asia is not very pleasant for us. Has never been pleasant. In fact, all the military-backed government that came into power, either being run by the civil societies or run by the military itself, has always done the same thing that you are doing today. And at the end of the day, there was a new party that came. And then what we can see in the media, that there is a new political information is going on. And we can assume that new political parties are going to be formed. And that might come into power or run the country in your future. We don't know. But my first question is, what is so new? What is so significant in what you were saying? How can I trust you?
That's
my second question is, you told in this seminar today that the immediate past government was so bad.
No. Not immediate past. Theoretically, someone else mentioned it also.
The past governments, the previous governments, ran the country similar to Nazis.
No. I think we're getting carried away now. I mean, Nazi has never been mentioned. The word Nazi has never been mentioned. No, you must understand the sociological explanation of why things went wrong. If no one has been blamed, it is the way the society has evolved. I have described the evolution of the social paradigm differently from the original system.
In what sense, Mr. Actually, started what good things we did for last 10, 15 years? Nothing.
Yeah.
Only corruption.
Anyway, I've got a district. Can I respond, or do you have more?
I actually finished my question. I would like to finish my question. And then in the last 5 years, you have seen a certain rise of Islamic militants in the country, where a lot of people, in fact innocent people, died. And we hanged those militants. And then your government actually is trying to prosecute the former state minister, Mr. Babu. And
the government didn't hang anybody, by the way. I mean,
the government prosecuted Islamic militants. They faced a trial, and they are being executed in due course of time. Now the foreign state minister is being interrogated by the security agencies, as well as other approximately 200,000 people. Many of them are without being charged.
I know what you read.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I mean, all of us have read.
Can you please also?
Now, my question is, okay, we do have the statements made by those executed, militants. We do have also a published statement made by the foreign state minister that Jamaat-e-Islami and groups similar to that have more knowledge, greater knowledge than any other parties in relation to the rise of Islamic militants. Why your government is, while touching everybody, has not touched any of them? When you are saying today here that you are so much concerned about human rights, and these are the people who killed millions, and you haven't done anything at all. The last question I have. It's just a very significant question I have. You are being backed by a very, strong military regime in Bangladesh, and the chief of armed forces, he said in a meeting of the freedom fighters in Bangladesh that there is going to be a prosecution, a judicial process to prosecute the people responsible for the murder of 3 million people in 1971. That's a very significant question in terms of human rights. Your government is...
I know what you're getting at, but
your government is totally silent about it. There is no follow-up, nothing has been done. Can you please tell us what's going on?
You must understand one thing. I understand what you're saying about 1971. Let's start from the end, because
I was... the elected government.
You see, that's also
he's
the point.
taking a lot of responsibility.
No. I'm taking... Okay, let's have this debate elsewhere, but talk to me. But part of the answer is that we can't take on everything. You see, basically what we are doing, as I said to the gentleman earlier, is we are creating a level playing field for political parties to come to office through elections. That's all we are doing. However, while doing that, because there's a long wait period, we have to do governance as well. We are, you mentioned prosecution and all that. Now, this is going to have to be very subtly understood. The government doesn't have anything to do with prosecutions, etc. you know, those GMB people were prosecuted earlier. The government did not interfere. That's all it did. We have said somewhere that if someday we can vote for elimination of the capital punishment, nothing would please us more. We want this. And in fact, in Bangladesh, as you well know, in our legal system, death sentences are very rare, and it's very rarely executed. In fact, we are one of the few. I think one of the top of the lesser number of executions, and previous year there was even less. But these 6, the only that government did not intervene in any way, and that is what it seeks to do now. The government doesn't have a mechanism to intervene. In fact, we have, even at level of magistrate, to separate the executive from the judiciary. The government will not intervene. It cannot also take out more than it can, bite off more than it can chew. So we have to keep our program limited in some ways. And remember, we have to carry the public opinion every day. If at some point in time 50,000 people come to the streets and say that, all right, chaps, you go, we go. Because
so was there a false promise by the chief of armed forces that there is going to be a prosecution?
Let me explain. No. Going to be a prosecution of what?
Of the war criminals in Bangladesh?
No, war criminals in 1971, how can we prosecute? Now you have to be, since they're not even in this, war criminals in Bangladesh?
Yes.
I see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's a legal system whereby they are produced before court, they will be prosecuted.
So
but I thought you were talking of apology from Pakistan and that kind of thing. I see. In the Jamaat, the right wing and all that.
Whoever it is.
Yeah. You see, the government has to be very chary of being involved in becoming associated with these things, because first of all, the lifespan is very limited. The lifespan, we have to have more effective bang for the buck in the limited time frame we have. We cannot take on those kind. You leave it to the elected governments. They will come to power in a year and a half's time, and if they, for them it's easier to take actions like that. You understand that.
So you are trying to reform, just 1 second, you are trying to reform a human rights commission?
No, but let me speak to him, because you see, human rights commission has nothing to do with this. Human rights commission is to make sure that government actions are circumscribed by the rule of law. The actions of the agents of government. We will ensure that, and all governments to follow will have to.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Yeah, 2 more
Go there.
Over there, and
the lady. The lady. No, we'll go there first.